Have you ever wondered why some people get a lot of freelance gigs and the others don't? Probably if you're started freelancing, how do you land clients? Well, these are the questions that I'll probably be answering in this particular video. So let's get started. This is somewhat of a framework that I generally keep in mind. This framework, I don't have a name for it, but for this video, I just call it TWF. It's a wordplay on WTF, but this one is called trustworthiness factor. There are basically four components involved in becoming trustworthy. And why am I talking about being trustworthy when it comes to freelance projects? Hey, you need to be stupid to be asking that question. Trust is the one and the most important factor that gets you better projects. Whether you're trying to land a new client or trying to rework with somebody that you've previously worked with, you need to make sure that they trust you. They trust in your skills, in whatever you are able to do, whether you'll be able to meet timelines, and whether your interest lies in all of this or not. If they don't trust in you, if they don't have your trust, they might not give you that project that you're rooting for. So that's why let's talk about how to increase this trustworthiness factor. There are four things that I mentioned earlier: credibility, reliability, relationship, and self-interest. Well, the formula over here goes like credibility multiplied by reliability multiplied by relationship and overall divided by self-interest. Is it too difficult to understand? I hope not. But let's anyway break these parts down and let me simplify all of these for you just in case you have certain doubts. If you don't, you can skip forward. Credibility. This is where you show that you've got the chops. You've probably done a project like this before and you will be able to nail it again and in due time. The problem statement of credibility can be subdued or can be justified by showcasing a similar sort of project that you have done and what the thought went behind it. So if you have something in your portfolio, great. If you don't have something, you should be able to mold it so that the client feels that you are the right person to get this done. Reliability. Reliability is all about being a dependable person. The client will trust you if you can prove it or you can show it that you are the one who says who will deliver on Tuesday and delivers on Tuesday. Actually, here's a better tip. It's good to under-promise and over-deliver. Take slightly longer time when you're discussing or when you're trying to understand what the work is supposed to be and be able to deliver slightly more than what was expected before time. That is under promise and over deliver. That works great with all sorts of clients. Relationships. It's the glue that holds the client and you together. Whether you're working for them or not, you still need to maintain a very cordial relationship. I understand that you might not have had the best conversations when the project was ongoing the last time. But once that has been completed, get out of the zone. Make sure that you don't burn bridges when you're moving out from one project. You need to be mature enough to tell them that yes, the project had its ups and downs, but you're glad that it went this way and we have been able to successfully deliver what was expected. Even if you were not, try to maintain a nice relationship with them so that they might approach you back in the future when a similar project comes up. Self-interest is the last bit. Over here, this is a denominator in the trustworthiness factor. What you need to prove is yes, you are interested, but their investment is way more prioritized. They need to realize that your interest is not as big a factor as theirs. You need to prove it to them that whatever they are rooting for is what you can get in, not what you wanted to do. If they're going for suggestions on a logo design, that you will prove, then you will give suggestions. But if they wanted to go for a retro design, you can't tell them that this is the norm. It's good to consult them in the right place, but don't stick that stick in their face. So to sum it up, any freelancing that you will get has to increase this trustworthiness factor. Your credibility has to increase with every project that you do. Your reliability has to be up the notch. Your relationship building is something that you need to maintain for the longest term, and all of this divided by your self-interest. That proves that their interests are slightly higher than your priorities. If you talk to a lot of people who are doing freelance and they've been doing freelance for a long time, you will realize that about 60 to 70% of their work comes from return clients. That trustworthiness factor plays a large part. a lot of these clients, they would want to come back to you if you have been able to deliver what they expected and more. Of course, you can think of it this way. Who would you prefer to work with? Somebody that you have known before or you have a strong relationship with, or a complete stranger? Of course, a complete stranger might work when you're doing something entirely new, but somebody that you know might be able to refer you to someone else, and that would be probably higher on your list. So that's why you need to make sure that that trust, that relationship is there, and they will be able to come back to you when the need arises. Now, apart from these factors, there are 5 other things that I want you to keep in mind. The first one is authenticity. Your clients and anybody else around you will be able to spot somebody who's not genuine. What you need to do is show genuine care. You need to show that you are actually interested and you have been able to deliver similar projects earlier. Commitment. Show long-term dedication. What you're in for is to show that there is a long-term relationship that you have in mind and you're not here just for this particular project. You are dedicated to what their need is and what they require from you as a professional. A client that you haven't contacted in the last 3 months is now somebody else's prospect. Remember that. Great. Now, every project that you do is supposed to be about passion and perseverance. I'm probably talking a lot of keywords over here, but these are feelings that your clients get to very quickly. You need to show resilience with tasks that come your way. You have to make sure that every time that there is a project that comes up, your client will have trust in you that you'll be able to successfully deliver it. Every project has its ups and downs. You can discuss this with your client once the project is done, or probably even while the project is going, but make sure that there is an amicable discussion amongst you guys. Reciprocity. Trust is reciprocal. Your clients will not be able to trust you unless you trust it. Whether it comes to being able to give your requirements clearly, being able to give you project files if they are necessary, or being able to deliver the finances in time. All of those pieces are crucial. You need to make sure that you show trust and you will be able to gain trust back from it. Communication. You know that poor communication can end trust. Be regular in checking up with clients about issues, about what you have been able to complete, and if you're stuck somewhere. It's good that you will be able to ask a lot of questions, and those questions should be happy to answer. You know, it's okay that sometimes life happens and you're not able to deliver it in right time. But letting them know beforehand will have that confidence in them, in you, that you will be able to deliver it when the time comes. The problem statement is, of course, that you don't end up not delivering it every time. Once in a while is okay, but every time that you do not do this or not deliver the project on the right time, their trust in you goes down. So here's the bottom line. Now there are 4 points that I want to tell you, which is summation of everything that I've been talking about. First is good communication. Make sure that your communication is tip-top. Second is feedback. Keep on asking for feedback even at regular intervals. And expect feedback and expect corrections to come in. It's okay to do a couple of rounds of corrections till you get that right. Personal touch. It's good to have something about your client that you really know and make them feel that they are valued. And lastly, exceed expectations. Go that extra mile. Under promise, over deliver. Remember that. So that's that. Now, if you remember this framework, you will be able to get return work from these clients and be able to sustain your freelance business. If you do not end up gaining the trust of your clients, maybe you might be able to get new projects from different clients, but they'll probably not come back to you as easily. And trust me, the word of mouth gets around very quickly. So make sure that you are one that people would want to talk about. I hope this was able to put some sense in everything that you have been doing. In case you're not able to face this problem today, well and good. It's good to understand this today and be open to understanding all of this later in life as well when your number of projects or your number of clients increases. One last thing that I would want to tell you. All of these things is a plan of marketing yourself. You need to put out a nice brand for yourself, and it is actually quite similar to putting a brand out there for probably a company or for a client that you're working on. To understand this in more detail, we do have a digital marketing course. I have put the link in the description below. You should be able to check this out and see if you are able to understand or utilize some of these principles in your regular freelance work. I will see you in another video.